Russian soldiers continuing the fight. They appear well organised and well equipped. But these pictures released by the Russian Ministry of Defence don't tally with the news coming from the Kherson region of Ukraine. It's true that in that city Russian troops continue to fight, but they're being gradually squeezed by the Ukrainian troops and geography.
So basically you have over 10,000 soldiers who are in a precarious position of a river to their back and nowhere to go as the Ukrainian forces slowly push in around them. The Russians continue to hold ground when it doesn't make any sense for them to. We believe that's been because they've asked the higher command and Putin to withdraw, and he's refused.
Further pictures from the Russian MOD, this time showing new recruits getting their kit. They call them mobilised Russian forces. Much of the world views them as conscripts called up to fight whether they want to or not. These pictures show them undergoing training with good kit and equipment. But many stories filtering from Russia claim some conscripts are having to buy their own equipment and that training is minimal. And it seems some of these conscripted troops could be heading to Kherson to replace the experienced soldiers.
Literally, although we sometimes quip that they were cannon fodder, but it seems to be that was the plan with many of the recently mobilized, which is to rush them forward, maybe in an infantry role, but really give them no training and rush them forward in hopes of either holding a position so it won't collapse or switching out a more trained unit and just leaving these leave-behind units to hopefully either die or hold something for a little longer. I mean, it's a sign of desperation for sure.
Film from the assault on Stalingrad by the Red Army during the Second World War. Why are we showing this? Well, Stalingrad was a massive symbolic boost for the Soviet Union. The victory shifted the balance of power away from Germany and marked the beginning of the end for them in Russia. Now, Putin's well aware of this history. Could he be looking to do a Stalingrad, but in reverse?
Tactically, it makes no sense, like we saw in Stalingrad, to just sacrifice massive numbers of soldiers and tell them to hold. And there's a lot of similarities here too, that, you know, Stalingrad wasn't won because of fighting. Stalingrad was won because the German forces were encircled and they couldn't be resupplied, which is very similar to the forces in Kherson at this point.
Meanwhile, the Ukrainian troops keep at it, although there appears to be a strategic pause in the fight for Kherson right at this moment.
They just fight smarter. They won't fight the Russians the way the Russians want them to fight, which is clashing, you know, infantry on infantry. They just won't do that. They're doing, you know, variations of combined arms maneuver, deep strikes, many forms, but they're just better troops.
The battle for Kherson is coming. Could it be the decisive fight that changes the tide and marks the start of a Ukrainian victory? Or will it be the symbolic victory for President Putin that re-energises his forces? Either way, it's likely to be destructive and extremely deadly. Tim Cooper, Forces News. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.